Hi there, it's Diane the Nursing Geek with just a quick Camp NaNoWriMo wrap-up on August 9th. That gives you some idea just how busy things have been. I did win Camp NaNoWriMo by the skin of my teeth. Managed 30,014 words. And that was pushing it. But I'm really excited to have gotten it done. That definitely pushed the draft I was working on much further, and thank goodness, because it was actually the thing that I was hoping to have done prior to camp in June. I never got to start the project I had planned to do for camp. That's the nice thing about the flexibility of Camp NaNoWriMo as opposed to NaNoWriMo, where it has to be something fresh and new. So I actually need to get started writing the project I had intended to do in July. It's not due until October, but if things have been busy now in August, they're only going to get busier in September and October. So that's this month's project. Anyway, lessons learned. Go with the flow. That's the number one lesson I learned, is just go with it. It's about writing, getting more writing done, and if it doesn't end up being what you thought it was going to be, that's okay. Just roll with it. Number two was I definitely need to plan for downtime. The summer is actually a very busy time because it is the time when you're in academia that you do all the things that have been shoved on the back burner during the fall and spring semesters. So that meant there were quite a few weekends where I just sort of collapsed into a pile of jello and could not write or do much of anything. So I needed to account for that in planning my daily word goals. So that's something I need to bear in mind for next year, because I had the misguided impression, despite the fact that I know how busy the summer can get, that I was going to have a lot more freedom and flexibility. I certainly had more flexibility in terms of when things got done, but not in terms of just mental energy, and that counts too. So 30,000 words was probably a little ambitious for July. Again, considering how long this project turned out to be, good. That leads to the other lesson learned. What am I up to? 3? If you're doing a project that you had already started prior to camp, then when you go to validate at the end, you should only put in the part that you wrote during camp. Because it ended up looking like I did about 150% of my goal. Because instead of 30,000 words, it was like 43,000 and something, which this monstrosity is now at 46,000 words. It's almost done. But, yeah. A minor detail, boosted the cabin stats a little bit, so it's not the end of the world. It wasn't that I hadn't won and threw in extra words in order to win. It was just that I didn't remember to only start from where I had been writing. And since I had been writing sort of non-linearly in Scrivener, that would have been difficult. But I could have just highlighted and deleted once I compiled into a Word document to make it easier to copy-paste over. Just delete enough words until I had only 30,014. That would have worked. Not a big deal. I don't think any of my cabin mates were too upset that the cabin stats got that little boost. It was not a huge boost. The cabin was amazing. I love all of you. I will link everyone below, and I will thank probably Haley is the one that I got all the links from in the first place for making that nice and easy to do. You were all great, regardless of how much you participated in the cabin. Everybody just being there, seeing your progress, hearing your struggles, hearing your challenges, hearing how you surmounted your challenges was just great. And some people had life stuff come up, and there was support within the cabin. And I hope to see you all again in April. I wish now that we had cabins in November, but I hope to continue to see you here on AuthorTube regardless. But I think this AuthorTube cabin idea of Kate Cavanaugh's was great, and we should totally keep doing it because it's really been a great experience. And I've heard a lot of people talk about their cabins just not really doing anything. That would not be a great experience. That's actually the main feedback I've given to the Nano folks, is that the discussion space is great, but more cabin-focused activities and cabin-focused encouragement, I think, would make the whole cabin system more functional, because some people need a little bit more of that prompt, and most of the support that Nano gives in terms of write-ins and whatever is still focusing on the individual writer rather than the writer and their cabin. Not a huge deal. We'll see how November goes, because yes, I am going to try and do 50,000 words in November. And I'll be probably crying about it at this point in December. Until then, that's it. That's this just quick, chatty wrap up. And until next time, have a great day.